everybody, welcome back. You are in her neck of the woods and I am your girl Evelyn. And if you are joining us for the first time, you gotta run it back. You gotta go to the previous video because you are joining us for 2020's top 10 trends of the year. And we done went through a couple of things, so if we start here, you're gonna have to catch up and do your homework. But I'm so happy to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today. So we're continuing on with our list. What number we at? Coming up at number 7, we are supporting Black-owned businesses. We left off with number 8, where we were talking about Black Lives Matter. Well, with Black Lives Matter came with an influx, when I tell you an influx of support for Black-owned businesses, because you're not going to kill our own in the street, and you're not going to pay these people to do it. When we burned it down, we also made sure that we hit them in the pockets. We were circulating that black dollar boy like nobody's business. I'm so proud of so many businesses who are just making strides in the middle of a pandemic. During the riot season, if you ain't have that Black-owned sign, I ain't really know what to tell you about your business. I'm just so proud of the way that we as a community gathered together to put people on, to spread the word about spreading the black dollar, and I think it worked out for everyone's benefit. Shout out to Zarina Akers, who curated the Black-owned directory of directories, and featured on this Black-owned everything list was Nora Bud, Unwrapped, Lit Brooklyn, The Idea Girl, just to name a few. And I'm just so proud of the way that we are uplifting our Black-owned businesses, because the only way to grow our dollar is to circulate our dollar. Please, if you're watching this, make sure you support a Black-owned business today. If you're paying attention, we got Shopaholic merch on the body. We got T&P Studios behind me. Make it your business to support Black-owned businesses, because we need it and they need it. Shout out to number 7 on our list, which was supporting Black-owned businesses. Alright, you guys, we're gonna keep it going with number 6 on our list. Number 6 was definitely a trend in 2020. Like I said before, we were stuck inside for a whole 6 months. There wasn't much to do but eat, drink, work, sleep. But we were also partying in the middle of a pandemic. Special thanks to DJ D-Nice out in California. He definitely broke the internet when he hit 100K on his lives. If you weren't around for this, I'm telling you, you missed out. Because when I tell you, me personally, I was partying with Ludacris, I was partying with Kevin Hart, Quincy Jones, Michelle Obama. That whole club quarantine that DJ Nice produced, it made a movement and created a culture of just making the most of what we have and enjoying good music and having a good time. Many people got turned up at these parties in their living room, and I know some people got dressed up. So shout out to DJ D Nice for Club Quarantine. But in the same breath, I can't mention Club Quarantine without mentioning Versus. Versus was an online IG live battle that happened by the week, by the month, and it was curated by Swizz Beatz and Timbaland. And some of my personal favorites was Monica versus Brandy, Neo versus Jonta Austin. We had, who else? Erykah Badu versus Jill Scott. But nothing beats Bounty Killer versus Beenie Man. Y'all like my Jamaican accent? But I tell you, that was a clash of the year, and I'm telling you, you know, we're gonna keep Ashanti in our prayers. I hope sis is feeling better. She was never gonna beat Keisha Cole. I wanted to see an effort at least, you know. But anyways, definitely number 6 on our list was the party. Listen, we were partying during this pandemic. Special thanks to DJ D-Nice, Swizz Beatz, and Timbaland for setting the vibes right. We have hit the midpoint, you guys. We are halfway through our top 10 2020 trends of the year. And you know, it's been a wild ride. There's been a lot of elephants in the room, whether it's coronavirus, whether it's unemployment, but nothing was bigger. Well, a few things were bigger, but one of the biggest definitely was the 2020 election, the presidential election in the United States. And when I tell you vote or die, when they said vote or die, they were not kidding this time. And the campaigns were for good reason, because we saw in this 2020 election how close the election was, especially in states like Georgia and Pennsylvania. Numbers was neck and neck. We only won blue by about 2%. But nevertheless, we did it, Joe. We did it, and we're gonna have a new president of the United States. So congratulations to President-elect Joe Biden, along with his VP, Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Still working on it. Respect black people's names. Vote or die was one of the biggest movements of 2020. I ain't never seen no one push that hard to vote. Equally important, make sure y'all filling out that census, because when you fill out the census, it affects the count of the electoral colleges, which essentially affects our election process. I don't make the rules, I'm just letting y'all know how it goes. Use your voice and make every vote count every single time. We have hit the midpoint already. Let's see what's coming up soon. Can you guess? We have 5 more trends of 2020, and I can't wait to share them with you all. So stay tuned.